Bienvenidos a todos los que nos acompañan de nuestra comunidad hispanohablante. Si usted necesita traducción al español, le invitamos que nos acompañe, y un miembro de personal está disponible para traducir a través de línea telefónica. Para unirse a la traducción ahora mismo, por favor marque al número 1-669-900-6833, con el número de identificación 889-5905, 1042 y use la clave 094-080. Toda esta información la puede encontrar en nuestra página de internet del Distrito Escolar, visitando www.ssfusd.org y busque bajo la sección de School Board Meetings. Muchas gracias.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to call the meeting of the South San Francisco Unified School District Board of Trustees to order, reconvening into open session. Roll call, please.
Trustee Shea? Here. Trustee Murray?
Here.
Trustee Richardson?
Present.
Vice President Anthony?
Present.
President Lujan?
Present. Thank you so much. All right, now on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise and place your hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, item D, land acknowledgement statement. We acknowledge that the South San Francisco Unified School District is located on the unceded ancestral homeland of the Ramaytush Ohlone peoples, who are the original inhabitants of the San Francisco Peninsula. We wish to pay our respects by acknowledging the ancestors, elders, and relatives of the Ramaytush community and by affirming their sovereign rights as First Peoples. Reporting out from closed session.
The board met in closed session to consider a claim filed against the district pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D. Trustee Anthony motioned to reject the claim. The motion was seconded by Trustee Murray. The motion passed by a vote of 5 ayes and 0 nays.
Thank you so much. All right, review of agenda. Are there any changes or additions this evening?
President Lujan, I have a couple that I would like to pull from tonight's agenda. The first is, the first is information and discussion 1A. And I'd also like to pull for action 2A. And we'll be bringing those back.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. All right, this brings us to PTA council remarks. Ms. Kitchen?
See, can you hear me tonight? Good evening, President Lujan, trustees, Superintendent Moore, members of the cabinet, members of the community. My name is Lauren Kitchen, and I am the president of the South San Francisco PTA Council. And on behalf of the PTA, we would like to say happy first day of school to all of the students, families, teachers, administrators. I have 2 kids who started in 7th and 11th grade this year, so it's exciting to have the kids go back to school. I'm happy to share that every school has a PTA board this year. This is the first year in many years where we start off the year with the minimum number of people to have PTAs at every single school. Very exciting. Some are very small and some have more than 10 people, but there's always room for more leaders at every school. We have an amazing group of people who have committed to serving on PTA boards this year. For many volunteers, even presidents, this is their first year serving on the PTA board. We even have people who don't speak English as their first language. We have people, most of them work full-time jobs and are sacrificing a lot to improve their school environment and their experience for their kids. And we thank those who have taken the leadership roles, and we appreciate your dedication. We encourage those who have not volunteered on the PTA before to get involved. A great way is to join your PTA, and most are doing online membership. You can join any PTA in the district. If you go to the website jointotem.com, you can find all of our PTAs there and join. So it's a great way to get to know people at school, to support the teachers, and most importantly, make your own children proud. They love to see their family members participating at school. So I'd like to share a few bright spots. I know we're talking about the bright spots this year. So this is what PTAs have done to start the year off right. At Los Cerritos, the PTA helped make welcome packets and help teachers set up the classrooms. At Martin, they provided lunch for the teachers. At Skyline, they also did a luncheon from La Tapatia, and they helped with school supply drop-off. That was Skyline, excuse me. At Spruce, PTA leaders participated in the TK Welcome Day and gave a presentation to families. At Bury last week, they hosted a kindergarten meet and greet. And yesterday, they provided lunch for the teachers. At Monteverde, they provided lunch for the teachers yesterday. Today, they had a breakfast mingle with parents, and tomorrow they have an ice cream social. Lots to do there. At Ponderosa, they gave tickets to the Giants game to the teachers last night. And today, they decorated the school to welcome families, and they had a welcome breakfast, and they are having a special treat tomorrow. At Unipro Serra, they provided a welcome breakfast for staff. At Sunshine, they held a parent meet and greet today with coffee and donuts. At Alta Loma, they helped with volunteers for the new student orientation. At Westboro, they're providing lunch for the teachers tomorrow. At Parkway, they participated at orientation and connected with a lot of new families. They plan to provide coffee and donuts for teachers in the next few weeks. El Camino participated in the freshman orientation last week and hosted a breakfast meetup for new parents, new families. And South San Francisco provided lunch for the teachers on Tuesday while they all set up their classrooms and had training. So thank you to the many volunteers who made that happen and made the teachers feel special, and we appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This brings us to item H, Staff Association Representative Remarks. South San Francisco Federation of Adult Educators. I do not see her here this evening. South San Francisco Classroom Teachers Association. Ms. Giusti.
Good evening. President Lujan, trustees of the board, cabinet members, and South San Francisco community. I didn't have time to prepare a speech. I think it's like a couple sentences long, but I do have a couple things I wanted to say. And the reason is because today is the first day of school and I'm exhausted. But it did go off without a hitch. The kids had a great time. I'm tired, but they loved it. That being said, I'm looking forward to the year with working with all of you, and I especially am looking forward to the class size conversations that our union and all of you in the cabinet have chosen to make a committee for. We have some changes in class size, as you are aware, and I know it takes a long time to iron those out. But I am hearing some concerns from Title I schools in the areas of 4th and 5th grade because their numbers are still very high. Even though there is compensation when the numbers are very, very high at Title I schools. Sometimes their classes are like 34 students in a classroom, and it's still very stressful. So just a little word of caution there, and something I hope that we can work towards solving for secondary and elementary this year. One word about my position this year, it's increasing in time. I am out of the classroom for union work 20% last year, but 40% this year, because I received a grant from California Teachers Association to do some organizing. And one of the things I will continue to do, like I did last year, is go out to all the sites and ask teachers what it does look like to be an educator in South San Francisco. what would be an ideal situation for them? So since I am asking those questions, and I know that it is in line with what you're doing with Portrait of a Graduate, feel free to connect with me, and I will hopefully be able to work with all of you. And we can share that information, work together to get what a portrait of an educator might look like this year. And that's all I had to say. I hope everyone has a great year. Thank you.
Thank you. California School Employees Association, Chapter 197, Ms. Malfatti.
Hi. Good evening, President Lujan, school board members, Superintendent Moore, and Cabinet. We haven't had our first CSEA meeting this month yet, so I don't have a lot of new items, but I will tell you that in line with the CTA president on her concerns for the classroom, we were also thinking about how the lack of paraeducators impacts the teachers. I remember when I started many decades ago in our district, every teacher had a classroom aide. That's what they were called back then. And I remember we went through a budget shortfall and they laid off practically all of them. And now that we've taken moderate to severe students back, it's become more of an issue than ever before. I think we're about maybe a little more than 70 paras short, quite a few paraprofessionals. And I hear nothing but concerns every week about how more of them want to quit and go to Burlingame where they're paid more. And I'm just seeing this tsunami of concern come forward when it comes to the paras, because will not only impact the students, but our teachers too, if they don't have a para in the classroom. Then to make matters worse, they started scrutinizing the para stipends at the same time. So that really raised the concerns of all the paras. So I hope we don't lose any more, but I wanted to bring it to your attention again and hope that we can meet with Cabinet or HR to resolve this issue. I think the only thing that's going to resolve it truly is to raise their pay and not be so scrutinizing of their stipends, those two things. Injuries they sometimes get from the severe children. I still was wondering if the district is saving that much money taking those severe students back after the injuries I've heard that some paras get. So anyway, I wanted to bring that to your attention. And otherwise, I do look forward to a positive year. President Lujan, you're going to be missed because you're a very, very good school board member and you are held in high esteem by all CSEA. Okay, well, have a wonderful evening, everyone, and thank you.
Thank you. All right, our next item is item I, Personnel Commission.
Our first Personnel Commission meeting of the year will be held on Monday, August 19th, 2024 at 5:00 p.m. in the district office boardroom.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, item J, do we have any items from the board, announcements, board calendar, or board committee reports?
Just a reminder that the board facilities subcommittee meeting is meeting next Thursday at 5 p.m. At the district boardroom, I think so.
We're confirming.
I have one announcement.
We have that's correct, thank you. And
I do have one announcement, President Lujan. As I am the member of the County Committee of School District Organization, I wanted to announce that the secretary who presided over our meetings has resigned, and this year we will be led by Jared Prolo, and that the county committee has no business before it now. And being the new year, I thought I'd bring this news to the community. Thank you.
thank you, Trustee Richardson. All right, I believe this brings us to item K, Superintendent's Report.
Thank you very much, President Lujan. So I'd like to start by introducing our student trustees. This evening, it's my pleasure to introduce Jamie Wong. She is the El Camino High School ASB president, who will be the student trustee this fall and who also served as the spring trustee this past school year. I'm also excited to introduce Josephine Harsana. She is our spring student trustee and ASB president from South San Francisco High School. You'll hear from her later this evening. They both will report on school events during each of our board meetings. They'll provide the student perspective on issues that arise throughout the year. And both Madam Presidents met with me last week, and I just wanted to express my appreciation and gratitude to them both for a productive and engaging orientation. And I did have an opportunity to get to know them both a little better. And I believe I can speak on behalf of the board and just let both of you know that we're excited to work alongside you this year. My welcome back. So we had the most amazing and engaging collaborative administrator retreat a few weeks ago, working with school and district leaders to align our professional learning and leadership to that of our strategic plan and portrait of a graduate. We then welcomed our newest educators to South San Francisco Unified at an orientation last week. It was engaging, inspiring, and very warm and welcoming. This past week, we invited all staff to a kickoff event where we shared our vision, acknowledged the shared journeys that we're on together, seeking to collectively reach the summit representing our POG outcomes. We also recognized, even last year, all of the great work that teachers and staff were doing and shared some of the bright spots, as we heard from Ms. Kitchen, of that South San Francisco Unified is exemplifying and exciting to build on the practices that we've already begun. We had a keynote speaker that many also appreciated and very much enjoyed her presentation in the various ways to help us start thinking about some of the shifts that we need to exemplify in our instruction. And she showed several examples that appealed to our community, which is wonderful. I think that the presentations, at least for many, in one way or another, really helped to create a positive, exciting feeling, really, truly a great way to start the school year. The school sites also did an incredible job of going deeper with their staff on the portrait of a graduate and the ways in which we can make it come alive. Many have already established commitments, beginning to generate ideas in the various ways that they want to innovate and ideate this year. And then today, the school board members and cabinet, we had the privilege of visiting schools this morning, and it was equally electrifying, joyful, welcoming, and warm. And I just wanted to share with the board and the community, excuse me, some of the quotes that I received from school leaders. One is that community is our strength. There were smiles all around. We only had a few TKK students who cried, but they quickly adjusted when morning routines began, and we were able to engage in several activities, but building classroom community allowed our students to get to know each other. We had a smooth start. Students have schedules. We spent time getting to know our students and advisory. Everyone was on their best behavior. There was a lot of excitement and smiles to be back. Our students came onto campus eager to meet their new teachers, and it was heartwarming to see their excitement as they began their journey to learn, navigate, thrive, and make an impact. Teachers had an amazing day getting to know their students and setting the stage for a great year. A big thank you to our wonderful PTA for delivering donuts and giving us all the energy boosts that we needed to start the year off. And then excitement filled the air as families brought their children to school early. We welcomed our community with both lawn signs, welcome back banners, and balloons. At one school, the leader said, we focused on community building and getting to know our scholars. The leader said that the scholars were nervous, shy, and happy to be back at school. And one second grader said, the summer was way too long to be away from school. So based on this anecdotal data, we feel like it was just an incredible welcome back experience, wonderful first day as well. And our goal is to continue to engage our colleagues differently this year with more alignment with our shared vision and direction of where we're going. So we're really excited about that. And my last item, we have an update on the WASC accreditation for adult education. Last week, I received an official letter from the Accrediting Commission for Schools, which is the Western Association of Schools and Colleges. The letter indicated that it had been determined that South San Francisco adult education meets the WASC criteria for accreditation. Their school has been reaffirmed for accreditation through the end of the current accreditation cycle, which ends on June 30th, 2026. And I wanted to congratulate our adult education staff, students, families, and community and administration on a job well done. We're very proud of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, this brings us to item L, student trustee reports, beginning with student trustee Wong.
Good evening, board members, cabinet, and audience at home and audience present. My name is Jamie Wong, and I'm currently a senior serving as the ASB president at El Camino High School. I hope everyone had an amazing, restful break. It is so nice to be back and see familiar faces. I also want to quickly recognize the ASB president of South San Francisco High School, Josephine, as this is her first board report as ASB president, and how excited I am to work alongside her, representing our school to the fullest. For the past 3 weeks, many leadership students volunteered out of their summer to set a welcoming tone by working on posters ranging from affirmations, advertisements, and recognitions to bring love and spirit onto campus. We've gotten much positive feedback as all staff on campus have felt welcomed and excited to be back, as well as students being in awe with all the colorful decorations all over the school. We are so incredibly thankful towards our ASB as they've been working hard and nonstop. So thank you once again, as they are all amazing individuals. As it was the first day of school today, ASB office helped conduct a 2-day curriculum that all periods used to show to students. This helped engage the student body instead of only meeting your teachers, receiving your syllabus, and then moving on to the next class. Rather, we created a slide deck that helped unify the student body so that all students were on the same page rather than feeling all separated and in different classrooms. The turnout was phenomenal as teachers were very grateful and enjoyed this curriculum, and students felt like it wasn't even the first day of school. Next Friday, the 23rd, we will be hosting our Welcome Back rally located in our big gym. We are so excited to introduce our new staff members, welcome our freshmen, and show off school spirit. Our MC will be Dr. McDonald and our ASB office, as they will dress up as inside-out characters according to our theme, Harmony. Our varsity cheer will be out there performing class chants and introducing freshmen with the welcoming tunnel. We'll also be having our one and only advanced performing dance program showing off their first routine of the year. We can't wait for our students to embrace the El Camino spirit. In the upcoming week, from August 26th through the 28th, we will be holding our annual Fall Club Rush during lunch in the courtyard. Students will be able to check out all the wonderful clubs that we offer at our school, including a variety of academic, service, cultural, and special interest club. We have over 30 active clubs, such as Fostering the Future, Biotech Club, Christian Youth Club, and Key Club, all being overseen by our ASB chairperson, Michaela Levine, who's also standing right over there by the speakers. Our school is thrilled to announce our first fundraiser of the year, a movie night under the stars on August 30th from 6 to 10 p.m. right on our football field. We'll be screening the beloved film Pitch Perfect, promising a night full of laughters and great music. To make this event even more exciting, foods like popcorn, boba, and pizza will also be sold. Pre-sale tickets will be available for just $5, while tickets at the door will be $10. This event is a wonderful opportunity for students to come together, enjoy a fun evening, and support our school. We're eagerly looking forward to creating a cozy and enjoyable atmosphere for everyone to start their school year in style. As we kick off the new school year, we're excited to announce that freshman elections are just around the corner. This is a fantastic opportunity for an incoming freshman to step up and take on leadership roles, guiding and supporting their grade throughout the year. An informational meeting will be held next Tuesday to introduce the election process and explain how students can run for office. The elected office holders will be announced on August 30th, and we can't wait to see who will rise to the challenge and represent their peers with enthusiasm and dedication. That concludes my report, and unless there are any questions or concerns, I'd like to thank you all for listening. I hope all teachers, staff, and students had an amazing first day, and I cannot wait to see what the school year will bring for us all. Thank you.
I went by El Camino this morning and your stairs looked amazing. That was a really lovely, welcome back. So I hope that it was enjoyed.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, our next student trustee Harsana.
Good evening, board, cabinet, and community. My name is Josephine Harsana, and it's my pleasure to be serving as this year's fall student trustee representing South San Francisco High School. I am absolutely thrilled for this upcoming year and all the positive experiences that it may bring. I hope you have all had an excellent summer and are as excited as I am to head into the new school year. Last week, ASB prepared for the upcoming school year with our annual summer training. During these training sessions, we welcomed returning members and new students into our ASB family. We introduced new student expectations as well as basic procedures for planning various events and fundraisers. On the final day of our summer training, we invited our members to play South City's version of the popular cooking show, Chopped. Students prepared various dishes from scratch, including fettuccine alfredo, crepes, pizookies, and burgers. Through this activity, we were able to fulfill the Portrait of a Graduate aim impact by encouraging students to collaborate with one another as they work to create the best dish. Participants practiced effective communication by remaining cool-headed in a hot kitchen. Cooking with one another was the perfect recipe for bonding. Last week, we welcomed freshmen and transfer students during our orientation on Wednesday, August 7th. We gave them a little taste of the warrior spirit with several performances from our folkloric, color guard, and cheer programs, as well as providing them with the ability to connect and sign up for the various extracurriculars that South City has to offer, including band, color guard, soccer, football, volleyball, wrestling, cheer, badminton, and cross country. Not only that, but we also introduced them to the school through campus tours and classroom activities. They were able to connect with each other and their community through this event. Many of our clubs and sports have also been very active this summer. Earth Club has been tirelessly working on the outdoor learning space all summer, whereas our Key Club officers and members have attended various training conferences such as KCTC and OTC. Our fall sports such as football, volleyball, cheer, and cross country have also been getting prepped for their games all summer. We have high hopes and we can't wait to see how far our Warriors will go this season. Go Warriors! And finally, as we all know, our students were welcomed back to school today. ASB students were stationed around the school to direct any new students and to answer any questions. It was a great way to start off a promising school year. That is all for my report. Thank you for your time and this opportunity to speak on behalf of the students at South City High School. I'm looking forward to an eventful year with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, this brings us to item M on our agenda, public comments. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. Name and address cards are in the back of the room and should be completed and given to the secretary. I will call upon individuals in random order who have requested to speak. Each person may speak only once and is required to address the board from the podium. The meeting is recorded and streamed live. Individuals may address the board concerning school business not on the agenda, but public comment cannot be acted upon or discussed by the board unless placed on the agenda at a subsequent meeting in accordance with the law, the Brown Act. The board may request staff to respond orally at the meeting or in writing at a future time. At this time, I only have one card, Ms. Connery.
Good evening. Welcome back, everybody. Hello, community. Megan Connery, El Camino High School. All right, 2 topics tonight. So first of all, thank you so much for our freshman enrollment this year. We have 297 freshmen. So we went up 72 freshmen compared to last year. Woohoo! So our sophomore class is only 225, junior is 288, and senior is 273. So since I started way back, we used to be over 300 in each class. So we, be great if we could add more. All right, now the main topic. So math pilot. So since the board was surprised about the teacher's reaction to the math pilot last year, I've decided to give you a little summary at each board meeting this year. So the math pilot has started off really well. We already spent 3 days of training. The district has helped us prepare for the first unit. Carrie has even found some bookcases for me since I have none. So I have nowhere to store all of the workbooks in my classroom. So I hope they are delivered to my classroom soon. All right. However, Imagine Learning isn't winning any points with me. They have updated the curriculum for the workbooks for K to 8, but high school has the same curriculum we had last year. During the training, we learned that middle school has English and Spanish versions of all the workbooks, high school doesn't. Middle school has beautiful new workbooks with color and perforated pages. High school's workbooks are black and white and you can't pull out any of the pages. Middle school has 2 versions of assessment, A and B. High school only has 1 version. High school curriculum seems to be an afterthought for Imagine Learning. We were promised that the workbooks would be different this year. Instead, high school is piloting the exact same curriculum that I voted no on last year. No wonder most of the elementary teachers like I am. They had beautiful curriculum and workbooks last year. We didn't spend much time with the middle school teachers last year, so we didn't realize that we had a completely different experience from them. I have asked to see the updated materials for high school, but apparently it's top secret. I will have a difficult time making a decision next semester if I don't see an updated curriculum and workbook. How can I vote on something I haven't seen? But again, district fully supporting us. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, and we received another card. Amy Lamb.
Good evening, everybody. So my name is Amy Lamb, and I'm a mother of 2 young children in the Westboro district from District B. And I just want to introduce myself to the South San Francisco Unified School District community because I did file to run for the District B Board of Trustees seat, and I heard that it's uncontested, so it's likely I will be joining when the new term starts. So I just wanted to introduce myself. My kids go to Monteverde Westboro Middle School, and just really excited to learn from all of you, and I'll take the time to definitely learn all the things, and so thank you, and look forward to learning from all of you.
Thank you. All right, seeing that we have no other public comment cards this evening, I'm going to transition into item N, information only presentations. And our first presentation this evening is educational services, a presentation on summer school. Mr. Irish.
Good evening, President Lujan, members of the board, South City community. Just want to thank all of our leaders that are here, our summer school leaders that are here on their first day. Tonight, we're going to conduct a short presentation, a little update on what happened in our summer school programs. It's going to be led by Dr. Garcia and Dr. Hugh, who oversee our summer school programs. Good evening, Dr. Garcia. Let's get started.
Okay, good evening, Board of Trustees and Superintendents. Tonight, Dr. Hugh and I are going to present highlights from the 2024 summer school programs. We would like to start off by thanking you for your consistent support of our summer programming. And again, acknowledging all the hard work by our summer school leaders and staff that went into providing these robust learning opportunities. There we go. Okay, so we had a total of 5 programs across 5 sites. All of them were in person, 274 staff members that supported our program, and we were able to serve just over 1,500 students. So these are the programs across the different sites. As you can see, our big lift was at Los Cerritos and Spruce, and we integrated our ESY program across the other 5 sites. This year, something that was different was that our Elevate Math program was in person. So we were able to serve 199 students, and they were at actually 2 sites. Our lower grade students were at the Spruce site, and upper grade students were at the Alta Loma site. And here's some information about our summer school meal program. So we do want to acknowledge our nutrition services. They were able to serve our students both breakfast and lunch. And it's about 11,000 breakfasts served and 17,000 lunches served over our summer program. Yeah, so we fed them well, because we know that that's important for learning. We also participated in community meals programs. So we had that at 3 sites. And so that was also really important for us to be providing that service to the community. This is our Big Lift program overview. So we had two amazing school teams. We had Dr. Humphrey and Ms. Gonzalez leading the Spruce team, and we had Ms. McCarran and Ms. Christian leading the Los Cerritos team, and all with the expert supervision and direction of Mr. Kovacha. So thank you to the team. There you go. Thank you. Rockstar Big Lift team. And just some highlights about our Big Lift program. This is one of like our premier programs that we've been having in the district for several years now. And the goal of the program, again, is around supporting academic readiness for our K through third students. And we try to combine both the academic support, but also social emotional support. We're providing professional learning for our teachers through academic coaching and other professional learning trainings. And we also conduct literacy assessments throughout the program, which are then shared with their home schools. So that way teachers can use that at the beginning of the year. Families did report that they had a really good experience. They felt connected, and that students felt that their students' confidence increased by participating in our programs. And so now I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Dr. Hugh to share more highlights. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So our extended school year program is for our special education program students, and these are students who are identified per their IEP as needing to have some additional support over the summer in order to maintain their goals, their academic and social emotional behavioral goals. So this is a wide-ranging program. We have preschoolers, we have adult students, and everything in between. It's under the direction of Mr. Jonathan Berg. And a team of fabulous related support providers. We served all grade levels of student here, and it was not just the academic support. So they were working on their academic goals, but there was also a lot of community learning as well. So lots of field trips out into the community, going to the park, going to the supermarket, etc., so that students had a wide range of experiences throughout the summer. Our site leaders also supported the students and the ESY programs at their school sites. So everyone was an ESY site leader this year. Our Elevate Math program, as Dr. Garcia mentioned, this was the first year that it returned to an in-person learning experience. This was after feedback from our families that they were looking to return to in-person learning. They were kind of done with online learning. And so we did see an increase from the previous year in enrollment in this program, which was nice to see. A nice problem to have, but a challenge certainly was that we had so many students that we didn't fit on the one campus that we had identified previously. So we ended up doing a little bit of a split, and that's why we had students, our younger students were at Spruce and our older students were at Alta Loma. So we really appreciate the flexibility and the leadership that our site leaders showed in taking in those programs and working to support them as well. Our Elevate coordinator, Jordan Mineo, is from the Silicon Valley Educational Foundation. So we've been working with him for a couple of years. And then Kim Moss is with us in spirit today. And she was our Elevate site administrator today. So she supported our Baden ESY program in addition to Elevate Math. So she was running all over the district, supporting students and teachers across the district for these programs. So here are some of the things that our Elevate Math students were doing. So it's really about continuing math, previewing a little bit of the math skills that they would see in the next grade level, and working on some college readiness goals as well. So it's a combination of academic planning, academic skill building, and math building. Our STEAM program is one of our signature programs in the district. This has been a long time program, and we benefited from having a number of returning teachers, site leaders, and teaching artists working with our partnership with young audiences. So our site leaders, Miranda Hahn was our principal and assistant principal Cynthia Espinor, and they are busy planning for tomorrow's lessons. And they are both returning administrators to this program as well. So they hit the ground running and supported a robust program at the site. So we saw students making all sorts of things and really engaging in fun activities around science, math, and literacy throughout the summer. And the teaching artists did a fabulous job. We had graffiti, we had dance, we had percussion. It was wonderful to see all sorts of different ways of artistic expression alongside the science in our classrooms. So here's some pictures to show what the students were up to this summer. And then our showcase at the very end of the summer, they had a gallery walk to show off all of their artwork and science projects, and then the performances as well. And families were welcome to join that as well. And then our high school program, we offered credit recovery only this summer, and we had a pretty robust program. So we had 517 students were served in our program. It's 2 sessions, and they were able to earn credits toward graduation as well as to repair grades and recover grades toward college eligibility. Ms. S.B. Flores was our principal. She was a returning site administrator, but first time as principal. And then Ms. Sharon Salillo is our assistant principal. And they did a wonderful job of shepherding in all of our teachers and our students and working through the credit recovery summer. So we were very proud to see so many of our students earn all of those credits that they intended to earn throughout the summer. 14 students ended up completing all of their graduation requirements and graduated. So we're very happy to see that they've made it all the way through and they're moving on. And we did not do a summer school graduation this year because we had allowed those students to walk with their classes in May. So it was nice for them to have that experience in May with their classmates. And then once they were done, they were ready to move on. So that is a little bit about our summer school programs. We saw strong attendance in the summer school programs that we offered this year. Again, returning to in-person for Elevate, we saw an increase in the participation and the engagement of those students in the math program. And so that was a positive sign that we made the right decision in bringing that back to campus. We did have some challenges with construction projects that were going on those campuses. And so there was a lot of need for communication and collaboration with our construction and facilities teams. But that was something that we were happy to do. And our facilities teams were there from the very start in some of our meetings to help us walk through some of those and plan together. So we really appreciated that collaboration. And then we appreciate having the opportunity to engage with students and, take them into the community, have families come onto campus for those celebrations at the end of the year. With our summer programs, we all do see that staffing is a continued challenge. It's hard to ask people to not take a break in the summer and work our summer school programs, but we very much appreciate all of our staff who do work and return every year to help and support the summer learning for our students. And so that is the only way that we are able to offer the robust programs and the wide-ranging programs that we have. So we appreciate everyone who does help, all of our site leaders and the great work that they did throughout the summer, and so much dedication that they're here again tonight on the first day of school. So we thank everyone for their support. We thank the board. If you could all stand one more time and be recognized for all your hard work this summer. Thank you all. All right.
Thank you so much for your presentation. It just leaves me smiling. Do we have questions and comments from my fellow trustees?
Thank you very much. I look forward to the graduation on the summers, but now we don't have them. But did you say there were 14 summer grads this year, or
There were 14 students who completed their last few credits toward graduation over the summer. So many of them just had a few more units to complete in a class or maybe 5 credits to complete. And so often they didn't need the entire summer. And so that was one of the reasons why our principals had really advocated to allow the students to walk and participate in the May graduations instead of asking them to wait and until the end of the summer. So for them, it was a win. They got to participate with their friends. Their families got to see them with the big stage and all the colors of their schools and everything. And then they took care of their credits as quickly as they could and were on their way.
Thank you
You're welcome.
for a great presentation. I look forward to it. It seems like our students are keeping up to maintain their levels of learning, which is important for the fall. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for always amazing presentation and really great to see how that amount of students, 1,518 students participated. And then the amount of our administrator staff and teachers, 274. So the ratio is like 5-1. So it's amazing programs. Thank you so much for this amazing work. Lots of people involvement and to help our students' success. Thank you.
Thank you. It does take a village.
I want to thank you guys for the work that you did and Ed Services, and thank all of the staff and the teachers and the administrators that were involved in this. Every single program is important in the summer program. You guys did such a great job of meeting the needs of so many kids, and I appreciate that. So I just want to thank you and thank all of you.
I echo these thanks. And I'm also just really happy to see, also the wraparound services that we're providing summer meals for students who aren't part of the programs as well. That's a really wonderful service that we provide. And glad to see that we're having more kids back in math.
Thank you for a wonderful presentation. Thank you for all the planning. Thank you for all the hard work. Every picture just shows really engaged kids, and that really fills my heart with joy. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we have another information-only presentation this evening, transitioning over to Business Services, Information Technology Department. Mr. O, do you want to introduce this item?
Yes, thank you, President Lujan. Yeah, we have Nathan Sandarum, our Director of Technology here. So he'll give us an update on his department. So that way the board is informed of what's going on in that department. Welcome.
Good evening, honorable board members, Dr. Moore, cabinet, and South San Francisco community. I'm here to present the technology department update. This is the San Francisco Unified School District goals. The technology is an enabler in achieving all these goals. And this is a metaphor for path for success. The technology plays the supporting role to achieve this success. I joined the district approximately a year and a half ago. As I role for Director of Technology, I oversee infrastructure, security, and end user devices and help desk. Additionally, I also established managing functions related to the project management, governance, vendor management, and procurement. So today's agenda I'm going to cover is we talk about the mission and talent, accomplishments, landscape, and the opportunities. So when I presented the technology update last year, I was still relatively new to the district and also to the educational system. So taking time to observe and understand the operations and dynamics. As I gain more insight, I recognize the need to establish some fundamentals to create a strong foundation for our future growth. So with that, we embarked on a transformation journey to learn, adapt, and implement organization fundamentals while servicing students, teachers, parents, and staff with increasing customer satisfaction, speed, and innovation. I'm coming from private sector, so from the district, I chose to lead this change by example approach. So where I've been actively involved with all my team members to see what can we do differently, more efficiently, and also learn how they are being done at the district. So this approach has proven effective. Team is fully on board, and we have made a significant progress together. And as you see, will see through this presentation, the accomplishments and achievements that we have met throughout this year. So the talent, this is the team that we have, and most of them are here. So we have, can technology team stand, please? Stand. So these are the amazing team. It's a small team, but a mighty team. We have achieved a whole lot, and they've been instrumental in making my 1.5 years journey very enjoyable. And okay, you can sit. Thank you. So, so we still have 2 open positions, and one is system administration positions that we have interim filled by a consultant. So as a talent is very key to success. So what we did over the course of here is like, I believe in continuous learning, and I'm excited to provide the same opportunity to the team. So we participated with ProLsite, an online learning platform that provides a variety of technology courses. So we provide an opportunity for the team to empower them to learn and enhance their technical skills and support their professional development. And we also reduce the ticket resolution times significantly. And it is almost 3 times better than where we are last time. So that is a tremendous achievement by the team on putting a lot of effort to make that happen. And again, it is doesn't stop here. We have a lot of work to do to improve the resolution time, to bring down to a day or 2 rather than week, and also to provide enough technology and automations. And one thing that we did this year is the internship. So I'm a big proponent of internship options. So I'm thrilled to share the success of first ever technology department internship this year. So we had 2 interns join from El Camino High School this year, and we have a tremendous success in having them and getting that lot of work done. So the program not only provides students with valuable work experience, but also equips them with the life skills that are highly valued by the employers and also in the college admission process. So here the team has provided a lot of mentorship and training for the internship for them to feel at home and be successful. And the interns have fixed almost 300 plus Chromebooks, replacing the batteries, screens, keyboards, and they have deployed 100 plus printers in South San Francisco High School. And also they worked on reimaging the MacBooks, and they help organizing the technology department and then also processing our e-waste cycles. So it was a great success, and I'm more inclined to look forward for options to make that as not only a summer or internship to make sure there is an opportunity throughout the year. Then we'll talk about the accomplishments this year. So I have categorized into 3 different sections. For culture, I think we talked about how we provide the team with the talent development. And one of them approach that we have is the inclusive approach. So everybody in the team is a key pillars, and everyone has a stake in the success of the department. So that is the motto that we be preaching it and then practicing in the whole department. And also clear ownership of the tasks. And that's we also that improved the collaboration and communication, so that way everybody shares what is going on and learn from each other on what can we do better. And other area that we focused on the vendor management. So we installed the governance, project management, and held vendors accountable for their deliverables with the quality and performance. And we also optimizing the services. So we have all the licensing services with the vendor, the renewals. So we optimized, we looked at each and every renewals to come in to see what is needed and how does it fit into the district needs. And also try to work with the vendors to negotiate the cost, and also to look out for other vendors who can provide a better cost for our district. And innovation is another area that we focused on it. So we wanted to make all the repeatable tasks and automated. So we have a couple of scripts that we have written to make the more automation and security awareness, to make sure that everything we do, security stays forefront, to make sure that we protect our data. And also choosing the right tools, what tools that we have and how we can provide the value to the district. And proactiveness. So that is going to be the key. So we moved from a reactive mindset to the proactive, monitoring all our infrastructures. So right now, any one of the technology team member can have sit in the office, can 100% say what is our internet or infrastructure working in all the 16 sites. Doesn't have to wait for a teacher or a staff to call in and say, my internet is not working in a classroom. So we achieved that, and it is proactive. And also we set an alert, like 8 o'clock or any time when there is a power outage or any access points went down, we get notification and we react to it before it impacts the classrooms. And also we build the expertise of the tools. So the tools that we are using, I want the team to be fully aware of it. So we go through the training, we work with the vendors, we work with the manufacturers to understand how to use it in the best way. What are the best practices? So those are the things that lead to it. So we able to complete all the projects that are started in 2019, 2021. So all the projects are complete. And by optimizing the services, we saved our district $450,000 per year. And also we increased the customer satisfaction, and it still need to be improved, but we are getting better. And also we have improved the collaboration and teamwork. And that's led to the speed and efficiency, so that way we can, with automation, so all the bulk of work can be focused on supporting the teachers and the students. So those are the accomplishments that we have. And these are the highlights on the few items that I already talked about, is that we have our infrastructure is stable. We can call it as almost 99.99% availability. And we have 0 tickets for the internet issues in last 8 months. So we have that stability achieved. And also the security cameras. So we will have a different slide to talk about our security cameras, but I want to highlight here is that security cameras, we bought that security camera maintenance in-house. So we have made the availability of security cameras almost 98%. And also we have the alerts and proactive monitoring of the security cameras that we have. And we have implemented several systems backups to make sure that we have an opportunity to recover and providing in case of a disaster recovery. And I need to acknowledge the team for all these great achievements and willingness to be part of the journey. And they are awesome. And also I want to recognize the support from Assistant Superintendent Business Service, Mr. Ho, and the district. Without the support, we can't able to achieve these accomplishments. So those are the key highlights. Now, the rest of the slides will be talking about each different areas, what we have accomplished. So for the network, electronics, and cabling, so this project is started last year when there were a lot of gaps in the internet coverage, and it was impacting the students and teachers' start test ability to conduct it. So we restored it we took the old hardware and then we deployed it to make sure that we get a better coverages. And then even though we had all the upgrades there, we still had the internet issues. So we brought in the top engineer from the manufacturer itself to address the deployment and accessibility to make sure that we have better coverage and also to provide the right availability for our systems. And internet and telecom. So we had a service from AT&T that was not being used, and we migrated to the Crown Castle. So we end up canceling the services. So we end up staying that $132,000 per year savings to the district. And this year we renewed the Crown Castle fiber services. So as part of the renewals, we negotiated the price, and also we implemented the E-rate discounts and the CTF discounts to that existing services, working with the vendors, and that resulted in $188,000 savings per year. And there was a TPX project, which is migrating our phone systems from a traditional hardwired to the internet VoIP services, and we had to escalate to our TPX vendor to the highest level and make sure that we get this project running. And we migrated 1,000+ phone lines to the TPX. And during that process, we also able to discontinue a couple of lines to make sure that we have the savings coming in. So that resulted in savings of $38,000. And as part of the TPX project, we did extend it. So as part of the compliances, we have to do an E911 testing. So we make sure that we did all the sites. We went to the sites and almost tested 164 telephone lines to make sure that all are in compliances with the E911, and our E911 dispatch center were very helpful because they received almost 200 calls we made. So they've been very helpful. We have to communicate with them. We've been working with to make sure that we tested and it's in compliance. And we did upgrade our storage. So we had a legacy storage system, so we were not getting enough performance. So we were upgraded our storage system. And so that way we are being future-proof. We can migrate to the cloud on the next step aspects of it. And disaster recovery. So this is one of the areas that we started working on it to build a disaster recovery. So as part of when we did a storage, we had all our data and backup everything in one device. And should the device goes down, we lose all the data. So now we redesign this whole system so that way we have our data in our data center and one in a parkway. So that way we have an offsite solution if there is a need for a recovery. And these are the examples for the device deployments. We have done quite a few of it, but just a couple of highlights is like we talked about the printers that intern also helped, and we also deployed it. So we got almost done. We have 200 left, and we should be wrapping up. And one of the deployments is that we have deployed 45 all-in-ones for the parkway. So usually these deployments take to build like 2 to 3 hours to build each of the computer. And we did and automated the whole process. Now it takes 5 minutes of building the system and we can deploy it. And this is the lab on South San Francisco. So the monitors were small, so there was a request to upgrade it. So we had monitors that were donated to us earlier. So all we need to do is like spend $500 for the cabling, and we deployed and upgraded the lab with 32-inch monitors. So this is the security camera that I mentioned earlier. So earlier we had a vendor to support it, and we were not getting enough response or prompt responses from them, and there was no monitoring in place. So we brought it in-house, and the team were gracious enough to take additional responsibility to monitor it. And we fixed 25 cameras and installed new 25 cameras and fix the existing 50 cameras. So right now we can say all the cameras are up and available. And audio system. So we did a couple of upgrades in Sierra Vista. So we did this project started on 2019. So it was just to implement only the projectors. But we modified, we worked with the vendors to change the installation. We included the cameras, microphones, and additional speakers to make it as full functional MER. So that way that space can be used for multi-purpose. And also we upgrade the Spruce gym and cafeteria. That is just in term for their graduation last minute. And also we upgraded the cafeteria and the gym to make sure that it is usable. One of the new devices that we introduced in the district is the interactive TV. So we partnered with the JS leadership team to do a proof of concept of two manufacturing vendors. So that way we can get the first-hand experience before we decide which one to go with. And after 2 months of pilot, we were able to narrow down to New Line, and we picked the interactive TV for them. Security. So this is one of the my personal topics. So we want to be in security, and we want to look at everything that we in the security lens of identifying what we can do better. So all these times, like we did a significant process in addressing critical security gaps. So we limited all our email access, not to access from outside the US. So that way we can reduce the blast radius, who can access it. And also we have enabled multi-factor authentication. So that way it's not only the password. So it can use the second device as either a phone to authenticate it. So that way we can prevent the privileged accounts. And this is all our security, all the servers in our data center. And we also try to implement the hardware key, just in case if somebody doesn't have a phone, they can use the key to support the security aspects of it. So this is the just a high level of all the devices that technology team supports. We have the Chromebooks, we have the Windows servers and Cisco cell phones and TVs. So this is the typical landscape of devices that we support. And the opportunities. So these are the couple of things that we already touched. Security, again, I want to repeat the same thing. So the security is going to be the key. So I want to talk about it and create the security awareness on everything to protect our infrastructure data and intellectual properties. And we will still work on improving the collaborations within the on all the other initiatives. So that way technology is not afterthought, is it on the forefront to make sure that we provide the right level of technology solutions. And also we have right now, as I mentioned earlier, we are proactive in monitoring our core infrastructure, but we need to take it to the next level where we need to monitor all the devices, end user devices like laptops and the TVs that we don't have the visibilities. So we can bring that visibility in so we can be more proactive before if it breaks. So those are the opportunities that I have highlighted. So thank you very much for your time and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I'm going to look to my fellow colleagues to see if we have questions or comments. Vice President Anthony, would you like to begin?
Sure. So I was reading this packet this weekend and I turned to my husband and I was like, wow, our new IT director is a badass. Really, really good work. Good team. Thank you so much for your leadership and thank you so much for implementing. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your comprehensive report, and thanks to you and your team. I appreciated so many things about this report, the way that you talk about being proactive and the different ways that you're saving us money in being proactive. So I really appreciate it. And this was great. It was told us so much. So thanks to you and all of the team. Thank you.
Thank you for the very comprehensive report. And I loved your key highlights. It's very clear what we have accomplished. And of course, the saving part, that's really amazing. How much you saved, the entire team saved our district with the excellent talent in the team. And then also the opportunities that is give us a clear direction, what we need to do next. So thank you for highlighting all the great work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Santorum, I don't think the board has ever heard such an in-depth study of everything we have and our security camera. I've always thought that we had maybe a couple, and we put them out there in the yard when the two vehicles were stolen. But I found out tonight we have quite a few. Does every school have one?
Yeah, every school has a different number of cameras. So we have some schools has like 50 and some has 60. So it varies by school, by site.
Yes, and I like the word proactive. I always try to push that along in whatever I say when we're trying to talk big numbers, because all I see is the big numbers and I go, oh. You know, I don't know where Mr. O got the money, but God bless Mr. O.
He's awesome.
Thank you for such a great presentation. I appreciate it.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for all the work you put into your presentation and for sharing so much information with us. I really appreciate it. And big kudos to you and your team. Just the number of devices you are supporting, along with all the thought behind infrastructure and security. You all do a lot of work to make things just magically work. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so this evening, we do not have any presentations with potential action, so I'm going to jump right on over to item P, consent agenda. The following items are submitted for board approval. One motion will authorize action for those items so designated. I do believe there is one item 1F, that needs a correction.
That is correct. The fiscal implications indicates 63,750,000. That is not correct. It is 63,750.
That's a big difference. Thank you for that catch. So do I have a motion with the correction to item F?
So moved.
Second. Do I have a second? Not me seconding. So first by Trustee Murray, second by Vice President Anthony. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, moving into the next portion of the agenda. The information item 1A was pulled, so I believe we can jump straight into action. Our first item this evening is item 1A, Resolution 2443 for attendance awareness. Would our clerk like to read this into the record?
Okay, so it's me.
Yep. Are you okay with that, Dr. Shea?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. South San Francisco Unified School District, Resolution number 24-43, Attendance Awareness Month, September 2024. Whereas good school attendance is critical to student achievement and graduation, and we are committed to reducing chronic absenteeism rates. And whereas chronic absence, missing 10% or more of school, which can be only 2 or 3 days a month, including both excused and unexcused absences, is a proven forecaster of academic problems. And whereas chronic absence in kindergarten and first grade predicts students are far less likely to read proficiently at the end of third grade, which often results in course failure and subsequent dropout, which weakens our community. And whereas school attendance improves and chronic absenteeism is notably reduced with community-wide involvement to monitor and promote good attendance and address obstacles which keep children from getting to school. And whereas California enacted the local control funding formula, LCFF, which encourage school districts to track and establish goals and specific actions for reducing chronic absence. And whereas chronic absence worsens the achievement gap between low-income students from their peers, as those students are more likely to be chronically absent and affected scholastically and socially by missing school. And whereas improving school climate, reducing instruction missed due to discipline policies and out of school suspensions, and implementing school-wide positive behavior intervention and support systems, and retroactive justice practices can have a significant impact on improving attendance. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the South San Francisco Unified School District Board of Trustees hereby declares the month of September 2024 as Attendance Awareness Month and support activities to increase awareness of the importance of daily attendance, especially the early grades pre-K through 3, regularly passed and adopted this 15th day of August 2024.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shea. Do I have a first?
So moved, second.
So, wait, who was my first? Now I'm all confused. It's first by trustee Murray, second by trustee Richardson. Okay, perfect. Roll call, please.
Trustee Shea,
Yes?
trustee Murray,
Yes.
trustee Richardson,
Yes.
Vice President Anthony,
Yes.
President Lujan.
Yes. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. All right, this brings us to item 1B, approval of MOU with Bay Ed Fund. Do we have questions or comments on this item? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Oh, second. So I have a first by Vice President Anthony, a second by trustee Richardson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
I should have made a comment before. I just wanted to thank the Bay Ed Foundation for all they do for us, and we appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now moving on to item 1C, approval of MOU with Learner Center Collaborative. Do I have any questions or comments on this item?
I'm wondering what the difference is, or what Learner Center Collaborative is doing that's different than Partners in School Innovation, because they get mentioned a lot together.
Sure, I can address some of it, trustee Anthony. So LCC, Learner Center Collaborative, is going to be the lead with helping the district move to a learner-centered model. So trying to define the South City way. In particular, they're helping us with those learner progressions. So there's competencies, 9 competencies in the POG, graduate aim of learn. There's other competencies in navigate, impact, and as well. So that's the big key there. They will also help us aligning those instructional strategies. PSI, Partners in Schools and Innovation, is really the support system around 2 big things. Our math and science implementation. They're helping us to strengthen our collaborative inquiry cycles at the site level. Partners in School will also provide targeted support to 3 of our schools and provide on-site support at those instructional leadership teams and help coach and be a thought partner with those principals. So that's the difference. The joint part is the vision. The instructional vision will be us, the district, and LCC and PSI all together. So hopefully that clarifies a little bit.
Yeah, I'm also, so does that mean, so when I was reading through it, it looked like the people who are going to be receiving the support in each school are going to be the same regardless of which organization is providing. Both proposals said, we're going to be working with TOSAs and teacher leaders. Are those the same groups in each?
Not necessarily. So with Learner Center Collaborative, if the proposal is approved, one of the first things we'll do, we'll form a guiding coalition. We'll be sending out a survey, an interest survey, and what we'll be hoping to obtain is all educational partners, in particular educators. We need teachers, we need classified staff, admin, and there might be some members from Ed Services, of course, in it as well, but they'll have to apply to get in.
Okay, and then the final thing, it looks like the full amount for Learner Center Collaborative is coming out of our general fund, and part of the Partners in School Innovation is coming out of the general fund, and then the rest is by our partners from the Bay Ed Fund.
So Bay Ed Fund is helping a good percentage, about 500,000 for Partners in School. The 150 is coming out of our Educator Effectiveness Grant because it's a coaching and mentoring. So we have those funds. We've allocated those funds. It's in our plan. We have to spend it by 2026. And you're correct on LCC, General Fund.
I have a very quick question. So based on the amount of fund, like the cost may not necessarily equate to the workload. So I'm just curious, both MOU is only 1 year. So is that the workload maybe a lot?
I'm not quite sure. I'm sorry if you could rephrase the question a little bit.
I'm just wondering, will the workload a lot because of those two MOU, additional to what, and this is the training, right?
So what we've done is we have leads for both organizations and we've broken down the priorities. So for example, if the MOU gets approved with Learner Center Collaborative, I'll be helping to lead the portrait of the graduate work and tie it to the instructional strategies. Mr. Brockmeyer will be the lead on the curriculum, the cycles of inquiry work and the math and science implementation. So all the directors have leads, cabinet members have leads. Assistant Supanan would help and lead the portrait of the educator work that would be part of LCC. So we've taken time to lay out who's going to be the lead, and we've started mapping out the whole year with our meeting dates and planning meetings to make sure that we can accomplish this. We've done a 1 year on purpose.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you asked that question, Dr. Shea, because I'm thinking about it from the other side, which is still the TOSAs and the teacher leaders who are going to be in the program. Like they have what they're supposed to be doing generally, and then they're also going to be learning on top of that to do it differently, right? So
yeah, that's a great point. So Ed Services leadership have already met and we've made some adjustments and we're going to be sharing, I don't want to say it in public, with the TOSAs, the expectations for 24-25 next week at our retreat. So we've limited some of the other additional responsibilities to figure out how they can fit in, and they will have the same opportunity to participate through the guiding coalition. Not everything's going to funnel through Ed Services and our CAT meetings. But we do need touch points with those different partners and educational partners.
Do we
I
have-
just had a
Go
quick
ahead.
question.
Go ahead, Trustee Richardson.
Thank you, Mr. Irish. I just wanted to know, the sticker price is quite hefty. Is this coming from the LCAP again?
So just in summary, for Learner Center Collaborative, it's general fund. So the MOU that's in front of you right now is general fund, our money, the district's money, general fund, not the LCAP, general fund.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Partners in Schools, when we get to it, it's different funding source. Bay Ed Fund, 500,000, 150, Educator Effectiveness Block Grant.
Let's keep, can't keep the pots, separate, but I know that Bay Fund is really.
Bay Ed Fund has been a vital partner in helping us in providing the support so we can implement the portrait of the graduate.
I can't thank the Bay Aid Fund for their partnership. And actually, to our superintendent, because it wasn't just them, it was our superintendent bringing millions of dollars to our learner-based portrait of the graduate. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a first?
So, second?
So a first by trustee Richardson, a second by trustee Murray. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, item 1D, approval of MOU with Partner in School Innovation. Are there any questions or comments on this item?
So I'm just going to point out again for the public and the board, the main difference in the price versus LCC and PSI is that targeted support of a Partners in School staff member being on site at the school 1 day a week and being a thought partner and providing additional support for the site leader. So that's the difference in the cost. I just want to make that clear.
And that's for 3 sites, right?
That's for 3 sites this year. Yeah, 3 Title I sites this year.
So moved.
Second.
All right, so a first by trustee Murray, second by trustee Shea. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Our next item, 1E, is a series of first reads for board policies. Given that we do need to take a break at 8:30, so in 5 minutes, I am wondering if we can move the board policies that the team is okay with at this time, and then pull the ones that we may want to discuss further to be discussed after the break. Does that sound agreeable to everyone? Yeah. Okay, seeing head nod, so we're going to go with that direction. Okay, so I think it might be easier to start with the ones that definitely need to be pulled, because then the remaining ones are the ones we can move forward with. Are there ones that anyone definitely wants to pull so we can discuss? Okay, well then I will take a motion for all 6 board policies.
So move.
With the second reading waived, right?
Waiving of the second. Do you want to waive the second reading?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say.
Second?
Okay, so I have a first by trustee Shea to move all of the board policies and waive the second of the second reading, and then a second by trustee Murray. Is that correct? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. All right, motion carries 5-0. Item 2A was pulled, so I'm going to jump straight into human resources. Our first item this evening is approval of a SCOOT Education Memorandum of Understanding. Do we have any questions or comments on this?
So moved.
Second.
All right, first by trustee Murray, second by trustee Shea. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, our next item, 3B, approval of Swing Education Memorandum of Understanding. Do I have questions or comments on this item? Do
So
I have
moved.
motions?
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
So I have a first by trustee Murray, second by
There's like
trustee
5 of
Shea.
us.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Do we want to take a break right now? Because it's only 3 minutes. Okay. So I think the next item may have some questions, 3C. So in order to make sure we actually take the break for the captioner, I'm going to say we take the 10-minute break now and then come back about 8:37. All right. Thank you, everyone. All right. If we're all ready, the timer went off. I hope everyone enjoyed the break. It was nice to visit with everyone. All right, so our next item this evening is item 3C, approval of childcare careers LLC DBA, the education team MOU. I believe there might be a question on this item.
Yeah, we passed a contract and consent for educational team. So why are we doing it here too?
Would you mind repeating your question?
On the consent agenda, page 74, we passed an item for a contract with the education team. And here we have another contract for the education team. What is the difference?
Great question. This item is for K-12. The other item was for early ed.
Are there any other questions or comments on this item?
No, so moved.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
First by trustee Shay, second by trustee Murray. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
All right, motion carries 4-1. All right, our next item this evening is 3D, approval of contract with an agency for transportation services for eligible student designated foster youth or McKinney-Vento for the 24-25 school year. Are there any questions or comments on this item? Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second?
All right, first by trustee Murray, second by trustee Shay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No, motion carries. I did realize that there's minor, I think the title should be plural students and not singular student. But I don't think that that's worth holding back the whole item. I just happened to read that it read awkwardly. Next, now moving into business services. 4A, approval of paraprofessional services agreement with Pavement Engineering Incorporated. Now I'm reading all wrong. Approval of professional services agreement with Pavement Engineering Incorporated for pavement assessment at Westboro Middle School under the Measure T bond program. Do we have questions or comments on this item? Do we have motion?
So moved.
Second?
All right, first by trustee Murray, second by trustee Shay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries 5-0. Item 4B, approval of agreement with Lionicus Beaumont Design Group for project assessment services for the El Camino High School modernization project under the Measure T bond program. Are there questions or comments on this item?
I do.
Okay.
So my understanding is that we had a pool of architectural services that we pre-approved last year. And yet we only asked one to put in a bid for this project. And my understanding is that whoever does project assessment services is going to be in better position to do the rest of the project, which means that we are prioritizing and choosing one. And I believe that we should have gotten at least 3. And my opinion is that we should have gone with all 18, let people submit what they want to. And yeah, that's what I think.
Mr. Your mic, green. Green means go.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that question. And if you recall, back in the fall, we did a poll. The purpose of the poll was so that we could fast track the selection of the architects firm. So they're all qualified, have different specialties in different areas. But the intent is to streamline the whole process, not get bogged down with every single project, to go through a selection process for each school site. So that is why we did the qualification component first. And now this is just moving as from a identification and moving forward. And the intent for the future, the phase 2 piece is that same architect moves straight into design.
Yeah, I fully disagree with this approach. I 100% believe that we should have opened it to our pre-qualified pool. We should have received 3 bids. that should have told us where we are. And I encourage the rest of the trustees to vote against this and the next item because I don't think this is a fair process.
Thank you. Thank you for the comments and thank on both sides. Do we have any other questions or comments on this item?
I've often wanted to hear from more than, and I've been told that the pool do not respond and the project needs to move forward. And so when that happens, they don't, you know, it'll delay the project. And that's my understanding why the district will choose that one that was responsive.
But this is not a situation where this pool was responsive. They chose one to offer a bid. I know for a fact there was at least one other architect who would have loved to have bid on this project. And we don't have that in front of us. And I don't think it's fair and I don't think it's right.
Well, again, they say we open it up on X date and we close it on X date.
We did not do that. That is not what this says, Nina.
Oh,
This says that we asked for one bid from one of the pre-qualified contractors. We did not put this to the pool and ask them to submit. We asked for one bid from one person.
that's interesting. Yeah, do we have a response for that?
Yeah, so I actually wanted to get some insights into what the pre-qualified process entailed, so that way we can see what was, you know, what was considered when this pool, or this person or this organization was selected at the pre-qualified process.
So our process entailed inviting several different architect firms to interview for this. We opened it up. We had a conversation with all of the architects and identified who was best fit for this particular site. In addition, we've identified some of the other firms to move on to some other sites that were in priority order. So we did extend an invitation out, had an interview for qualifications that was specific to the given site. Did not receive proposals from them to compare the proposals, but we did do interviews based on qualifications.
Did you ask for a proposal after doing the interview, or did they assume that there was going to be a proposal like put out?
We asked for proposals after the interviews.
But you didn't put it out to the entire pool. You put it
No.
out to just a few people that you thought that it would.
Correct.
Thank you.
Can we do so at this time? Because the board hasn't voted for it, so therefore it's still out there undecided.
If the board decides that the preference is to re-engage and efforts for proposals, we will restart the whole process and have to entertain additional proposals that will just look directions from you.
My feeling is that we did what we needed to do. And I think that we need to move on. So I don't want to hold up the project at all. And you interviewed him, or you interviewed this company for this site. So I would.
You did interview other companies for this site,
Yes.
like recently, not when we did the first pre-qualification of the bid.
No, for recently, when we were beginning this process for this particular site. But as I mentioned before, we also had other sites in queue. So some of the other architectural firms were assigned to the other sites after that.
Are all 30 that we approved, have they gone through the state clearance process or the certified that they can do school projects? Have they been cleared?
They they have architectural degrees and certifications. I'm unaware of anything that certifies that they are able to do a school. They have history in doing school projects.
But are they cleared with the state? That's always been an issue with us. If the state doesn't clear them, we
They have
can't consider them.
licenses.
Yes.
They're licensed.
Yeah, I think what she's asking about is DSA, which pertains to the approval process when a project is about to be done, which sometimes has been a problem with closing out projects in the past, but that's separate from this. To answer Trustee Richardson, they all have licenses and are authorized to work in schools. Yes.
Yeah, they have licenses to practice, so yes.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, well, that was a robust discussion with lots of good questions. I would like to see, do we have a motion on this item?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, so I have a first by Trustee Murray, a second by Trustee Shea. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
All right, so the motion carries 4-1. Thank you. Okie dokie. Moving on to item 4C, I can read my letters. Approval of agreement with CAW Architects Incorporated for project assessment services for the South San Francisco High School Modernization Project under the Measure T bond program. Do we have questions or comments on this item?
I feel the same way. If there really are conversations that are happening, then it should be in the background of the staff report that says who you talked with and that you requested a proposal and that they were non-responsive, not that it was requested a proposal from one organization.
Thank you. All right, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second? All right, so I have a first by Trustee Murray. I have a second by Trustee Richardson. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries 4-1. Thank you.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, by all means.
I think Amanda's point is well taken. And so if can we improve this process in the future? Okay, thank you.
Okay, now we transition into item 4D, approval of agreement with Smith Faust McDonald Incorporated for the development of district-wide information technology standards for the Measure T bond program. Do we have questions or comments on this item? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
First by Vice President Anthony, second by Trustee Shea. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item 4E, approval of change order number 5 on the heating, ventilating, and air conditioning HVAC project package B, project 1623. Do we have questions or comments on this item? Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
All right, first by Trustee Shea, second by Trustee Murray. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And item 4F, approval of change order number 2 on the heating, ventilating, and air conditioning HVAC project package A. Do we have questions or comments on this item? Trustee Richardson?
Yes. In the report, it talked about the insulation of the roofs, and I was concerned that some of our roofs are just not insulated enough for some of these units, and I worry that the units may be continually be on all the time, using up their ability to the longevity of the HVAC units because of the way our portables, which most of them are, has such a short or thin, I don't know the R value, but to me, it just seems like they're not insulated enough and that the units won't hold the heat or the cool long enough. And it could become a costly endeavor. And do we have anything to address that? I asked already, but I don't feel that they answered my question.
It is my understanding from Director Hurry and our consultant who is working on this project that the in package A, the units that were applied to the roofs were insulated, added insulation, rigid insulation was included. I can't speak to the R rating. I don't have that information in front of me. I do understand that there are some roof systems that do not have it. I don't think that is part of this project. I can't speak to the district-wide conditions.
I did read something along that as a concern, and I just read the fine print, and I have that concern about all these units and how are they going to perform if it's going to be really costly. I know we're replacing old units with new units, but is that going to improve our cost any, or because of the condition of I know that we can't really do much about it at this point because this is what we have, so this is what we're working with. But it's a concern to me about the cost because all the whole district is having most of these units replaced and with new ones.
Well, not most of the units are being replaced, but for the ones that are being replaced on roofs, the insulation had been added. That was my understanding.
Thank you for answering our questions this evening. Do we have a motion on this item?
So moved.
Second. All right, first by trustee Murray, second by trustee Shea. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Okie dokie. I believe, yep, this brings us to review of future agenda items and meetings. Are there any changes, additions that we want to see as we look at the upcoming meetings? All right, I'm not hearing a groundswell. Feel free to email me if something comes to you and I can chat with Shantara about getting it worked in. All right, so I summary of Dr. Moore. Sorry. Dr. Moore. Summary of board directives. Are there any this evening?
There are no board of directives.
Thank you. Wonderful. All right, good and welfare. Who would like to go this evening?
I'll go.
Okie dokie.
So first, I want to welcome Joanna. You just finished your first meeting. Thank you so much. Today was the first day of school and we've had like the beginning of all the beginnings for the new teachers and the welcome backs for the other teachers and staff members. And so I just want to welcome everybody back. And I went to Bury, Juniper Serra and Skyline Elementary today. And it was amazing. I always love it because it's invigorating to see these little humans on the first day of school and seeing them at promotion at the end too. So I just want to thank everybody and I hope everybody had a great school beginning to the school year. I know I did. And so thank you.
Welcome back for the great semester start. Have a great start of the semester. Thank you.
Trustee Richardson.
Thank you. I had a pleasure of being for the welcome back for our teachers and the kickoff for the portrait of the graduate. And that was so professionally done. And I was so happy to be part of it. And we're on our way. And today I went and visited 4 schools, Los Cerritos. We saw tears from the grandparents. And I see tears in the beginning of school and I see tears at graduation. So both, I'm saying, oh my God, this is, what an observation. So I went to Spruce and I talked to Principal Gardner and saw Mr. Hannon over there. And it was just a moment. Then I drove by Martin School, and there was one child, and I thought it was he was sitting on the curb. He would not go inside the school. But I let Mr. Kavacha handle that. And so I kept going on. I just kept driving on. And then I went to say hello to Mr. Claiborne, and he's back with his whole team back in our nicely redone parking lot. That was really nice. And I spoke to one of the teachers, and everybody's so happy because it's such a nice place to be. And then I went to the conference, CLSBA, and I sat through 2 days of intense look at some of our issues for the Latino population. And one of them was the fact that after 3rd grade is a critical period that kids need to maintain their level of education, or they won't be reading well by 9th grade. And the same percent that are struggling in college later is the same percent that struggle with reading after the 3rd grade. So it's really a critical area in the development of the kids who come to specifically to the EL. And then I heard about the restorative practices, and these went a little bit in depth, but I'm happy to see that our district is really keeping up with all this. Everything I heard, our district's already trying. So thanks to our cabinet, who just keeps us, we keep you guys busy, and because I can't say I'm gonna come back and suggest this because we're already doing it. So I appreciate everybody, and welcome back to our teachers and our new people. And thanks to Mr. Sandram for coming out to tell us how really great our IT department. Thank you.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I just want to say happy first day. Looking forward to a great school year with everyone. And with that, we shall adjourn. Have a good evening.